Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Cleveland Cavaliers trade video. Now, it was reported earlier today that the Houston Rockets, in return for Eric Gordon, are looking for a first-round draft pick. Now, the biggest issue with Eric Gordon is his $18+ million salary that is attached to it. So, to just be real right off the bat, I don't think Eric Gordon to the Cavaliers is all of that. I don't think it's that smart for the Cavs, but you never know. I guess you really never know. I think Eric Gordon on the Cavaliers would be absolutely perfect. I think he would actually be unbelievably good, and we'll talk about that in today's video. But before we get into it, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Post pretty much daily Cavs content. We are 4 subscribers away from 9.9 thousand subs, so if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, drop a comment for the algorithm, hitting that sub button if you enjoy it. Let's get into the video, man. So Eric Gordon, you guys see this fat Houston Rockets flag behind me. Now, I like to view myself as like pretty level-headed. Like I don't want to be biased towards one team. So I'm thinking about it from the Cavs side. Money-wise, you're probably going to have to give up Ricky Rubio. I mean, unless you're willing to give up a guy like Lauri Markkanen, and, in my opinion, I don't think that's a guy the Cavaliers should be looking to trade, especially for, like, an older player like Eric Gordon. Part of what makes the team work so well is everyone's ability to just buy into the team. Like, everyone on the Cavs is fully bought in. They're bought into JB. They're bought into their teammates. They're just bought into the program. Not saying Eric Gordon will mess that up, but I just don't think there's a reason to get rid of Lauri Markkanen and be like, all right, whatever. See ya, Lauri. Like, there's value with Lauri. He helps stretch the floor. He can bring some defense. Just like his presence, honestly, on defense is very nice. So, looking at Eric Gordon, I mean, I'm thinking if they were to actually do a trade like this, it would be Ricky Rubio and a first-round draft pick for Eric Gordon, which you could certainly make the argument that that is worth it. And I think that a big reason is Ricky Rubio. I mean, as far as re-signing goes, is he going to want to come back to the Cavaliers? Is he going to want to go somewhere else? What's Ricky Rubio's plan? What's the Cavaliers' plan with Rubio in the offseason? I have no idea. Personally, I think it would be amazing if they brought him back. I think Ricky Rubio really fits perfectly onto this roster, onto this bench mob. And then whenever you have an injury, or even just not an injury, and you want to run Ricky Rubio with the starting lineup, I think that's always fun to watch as well. But let's talk about Eric Gordon's fit on this team because, like I said, the same reason I want Ricky Rubio back on the Cavs next season. Let's say Rubio, in a hypothetical world, Rubio was like, yeah, I'm taking my talents elsewhere. I'm going to South Beach. I'm going to Miami. I love you, Cleveland, but I'm going to Miami for some weird reason. Let's say he did that or something. Damn thing in my eye. I literally just woke up, so I apologize. But Eric Gordon, 15-point per game scorer, 50% shooter from the field, and he's also averaging a career high in assists. But as a Houston Rockets fan, Eric Gordon's impact almost goes unnoticed. It would have gone unnoticed this whole season if he wasn't averaging 15, if he wasn't averaging almost 4 assists per game, if he wasn't shooting literally 50% from downtown. Only I feel like Rocket fans were kind of have their eye on Eric Gordon and be like, this guy is so valuable to our team. I mean, take 3 nights ago now, Eric Gordon drops 33 against the San Antonio Spurs and kind of single-handedly wins them the basketball game. I mean, Eric Gordon shows up clutch when he needs to. He can make threes. He can facilitate. He can distribute the ball. Like, he can do a plethora of different things. And then defensively, he's not a liability whatsoever. Maybe he's, you could even argue he's a little above average. He'll hold his own. Eric Gordon will hold his own. But what I really like about the idea of putting him on the Cavaliers is honestly just his versatility. I mean, Eric Gordon, he could play point guard. He's played point guard for the Rockets. He kind of is. Before, he was inserted into the starting lineup however many weeks ago. But, I know the Rockets had DJ Augustin, but it was kind of like a switched backup point guard. Like, it was like a dual. There were like almost 2 backup point guards with DJ Augustin and Eric Gordon just kind of primarily handling the basketball. We've seen it in the past. Say John Wall is out for a game, or maybe even James Harden will go a little turn the clock back a little bit. Eric Gordon comes in. Chris Paul is missing the game. Eric Gordon comes in as your point guard. So let's say Darius Garland were to go down with an injury, or even COVID again. You have Eric Gordon. So I would feel a lot more comfortable just having Eric Gordon kind of like replacing Darius Garland, as opposed to, I like Rondo, I like Brandon Goodwin, but I think Eric Gordon, I think he offers you a little bit more offensively. And, I really like Rondo. I really like that veteran presence. And I think he would play well with Eric Gordon because Chris Paul played well with Eric Gordon, or Eric Gordon played well with Chris Paul. But especially if it was long term, I would not feel that comfortable with Rondo and Goodwin kind of handling the point guard or starting point guard responsibilities, as opposed to a guy like Eric Gordon, who he's only 33, but I guess you can say he's already 33. The contract is really the only downside. I mean, it really is the only downside. I don't think a single person's going to complain with a 50% field goal or a 50% three-point shooter shooting about 50% from, I just said the same thing, 15 point per game shooting about 50% from downtown. I don't think any team, especially a contending team, is really going to argue with that. But at the end of the day, here's my take on it. I think there's better options. I think that there's better options for the Cavs, because I think Eric Gordon is more of a guy where you're looking to acquire him to like actually win a championship. So I'm thinking Eric Gordon goes to like the Phoenix Suns. I know they don't have they don't have this year's first round draft pick, but they have future first rounds they can offer the Rockets. They also have guys like Jalen Smith, Dario Saric to kind of make those salaries match. So you have a young player, an enticing young player. You also have a first round draft pick. And I think Eric Gordon would prefer to be in Phoenix as opposed to a bunch of other teams, just, you got the Chris Paul connection there. And obviously they made the NBA Finals last season. So I don't think Cleveland would do this trade. I think if they were to do this trade, it would be cool to see how it ended up. I think the Cavs would definitely benefit by having Eric Gordon on their team. But the thing is, they're not in a rush. They're not in a rush. The Cavaliers, like I said, man, there's no rush to win a championship right at this very moment. We're talking, you're building a plan. You're building your roster. You're building your coaching staff. You're just trying to put all the pieces in place to kind of get everything going in motion. And this year, things are going in motion. So I don't really see a reason to kind of mess with that as far as getting rid of Ricky Rubio and bringing in, kind of not a high profile guy, Eric Gordon, but definitely like a bigger name than, say, your Joe Harris, say your Terrence Ross, or whoever, whatever player the Cavs are eyeing, whatever other players the Cavs are eyeing. I mean, Eric Gordon is not that bad of an idea. It really is not that bad of an idea, but first round pick and Ricky Rubio for Eric Gordon. There's no rush to win the championship this freaking year or even next year, if we're being straight up. I mean, we'll talk about next year when it comes, but there's no reason to kind of mess with all the chemistry going on right now. So I still think the Cavaliers, honestly, I don't even see them making a big time move. I think it'll be, if they were to make a trade, I think it'll be something pretty minuscule. And I do see them doing something like that, but I'm not even talking like a bigger name. I'm talking about a guy like Wayne Ellington. I know he's on the Lakers, but that's a player I'm thinking that they're going to get, just a very low profile, kind of specialized guy, like maybe a 3-point specialist, something along those lines. But Cavs Nation, I need to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're about 4 subs away from 9.9K. I post NBA content every day, and I post Cavs content just about every day. So that's it for today. We have a great slate for MLK Day. So I can't wait to watch these basketball games, and maybe we'll even live stream Cavs versus Nets at, I believe, 2:30, so a couple hours from now. But hit the like button, hit that sub button.